going to be the first day of my 30 days of code challenge and I made this reel.
Normal pizza structure, some base, uske upar sauce, toppings,
And I decided it would be a good thing to kind of make a tutorial explaining how this is done. Let's learn about it. So a pizza is basically going to be one big circle which will be the base, another circle where you'll have the toppings. We're going to divide it and then we'll have, so these two parts would of course have some kind of gradient going on. Then we will have some toppings. I want like two different colored peppers. I'm going to keep them at the same size just so that it becomes easier when we are trying to coat them. And then finally, what is a pizza without some cheese? So we'll have some cheese cubes here and there. So that is it. The plan is ready. We are going to get started with the coding part now. Excuse me if the background noise is kind of disturbing. My mic just died when I was trying to film this video. So yes, that is it. Let's get started with the video now. This is what a basic HTML would look like. So I'm going to have a div tag here. Let me wear my glasses. And then we can start. So this div, I'll have the class name as container, and then in this I'm going to have the base. And inside base I will have sauce. Sauce, SAUCE, and then inside sauce I'm also going to have toppings, and for toppings I'm going to have around 8 toppings. So that is going to be div class equals t1, copy 8 7 times. So now that that is done, I'm quickly going to make a style tag and I'm going to have a few basic things done over here. Once that is done, let's start with the base. I think we'll need dot over here, and because that is the class. So for this I'm going to set the width of the actual pizza to be like 500 pixels. The same is going to be with the height, the border radius to 50%. Background color as this particular one. So let's see what it looks like. And okay, so now this has to move to the center. For this,
let's give margin auto, position absolute.
Okay, perfect, that works. Okay, but this one is a bit of a problem. Oh, hello. So this is going to be top and bottom. This is what it looks like in the center. Very good. Now what I want to do is, as I mentioned, I want the entire base and the sauce to be a gradient, so I'm going to be doing just that. So for this, what I'm going to do is, instead of background color, I'm going to have the background image, and I want this to be kind of a radial thing. This is going to be radial gradient and not linear. Linear is going to be from like left to right or from top to bottom. I want this to be radial, and then this is going to be a circle, and the gradient things that I want is going to be like red, brown, and this specific color that I got from this online website. So this is what it ends up looking like. Now this entire thing is going to get covered. This is essentially the only part which is going to be visible. I'm going to do the same thing for the sauce part. I'll be right back once that is done. Done, made changes, and this is what the sauce looks like now. So this is the entire sauce completely done. So you see now this looks much better and a little bit more realistic. So this is again the same thing as we have done. Background image, radial gradient, and color again we've got with red, orange and yellow. Done. Now we are moving on to the toppings part. So I have a few general CSS to apply to all of these toppings. So for T1, T2, 37, I want the width and height 50, border radius to be 50. The color, this is similar to like a red, center align, and we are going with position relative. Now dot T1, I have to set the left as something and the top as, so what I plan on doing is we'll be working in REM for both of these. So maybe like a 2 REM in the top and a -4 REM on the left. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, so this is the top part. Now I want to make changes. Let's go ahead to the developer tab. Here I'm using a MacBook. Over here this is T1. I want to make changes, so let's go somewhere over here, and here in the bottom somewhere over here. Okay, this works. So that is 14 and 4. I'm going to do the similar things to all of these, and I'll be right back. So the lighting is changing quite a bit, but this is what our pizza looks like. I've made changes, so these are just 7. You can place them randomly wherever you want. I quite like where they are. Now we have to make pieces of this, right? In here, after the toppings is done, after the sauce is done, after the base is done, maybe over here, I'm going to have a new div, and this div is going to be called line. I want to make my life as simple as possible, so inside line I'm going to have div class equal to L1, I think till L4, and then we'll apply the CSS. That CSS is going to be quite similar to the CSS that we've applied to our toppings part. What we are going to do now is just look at what everything else is looking like. So L1 has to come upper, so that is minus 25 rem seems to be good enough for us, so that is what I'm going to do over here. This is what L2 looks like. L2 is very niche, but I want this to be like vertical, horizontal something, so I have to make changes in the degree of that. I have to change the orientation a little bit. So that is what we are going to do. We are going to use transform rotate for that case, so that is going to be over here, transform rotate, and I'm rotating this by 45 degrees, and this is what it ends up looking like. This is again definitely a entire trial and error process. So we have just added in a little bit of toppings. Let me show you guys what I've done. I made a new div jiska naam maine cap diya, and now inside cap I had 1 to 8 written, and then in here I've applied the general thing. So the width, the height, and the color I've set to green because this is a capsicum, position absolute, and this is something that is new. So I've just transformed origin to 50% and 100%. Now in C1 I've just rotated it a little bit, so all of them, so C1, C2, C3 till C8, I have just given them sort of some degree to which it rotates, so then this looks kind of nice, right? It looks a little bit different, so it looks good. And the height and the width, both of them are set already, applied a green color, and then just have made changes in the top and the left coordinates. Everything else is the same. Now we are going to go ahead and make a replica of this. I'm going to call it pepper. Pepper is going to be red in color, going to be an additional topper. So we are coming almost to the end. We are done. This is what the pizza looks like. The topping is done. We have got 2 different kinds of peppers. There's one pepperoni over there, a good gradient of like red, orange, and yellow. Now the only thing that is left is going to be some cheese. So we are going to come out of all of these things. Going to make a new div with class equal to cheese, 1 piece of cheese per slice. So let's get that done. These things are done. Now I'm going to come over here, and there are going to be some things which I want to be kept same. So maybe like the color is going to be white. We can keep it like white smoke or ghost white, I am not really sure. And then the position, the width, the height is going to be same. I want these to be like cubes, right? So these are going to have the same height and width, and I'm not going to have any kind of border radius on it. So as I mentioned, position absolute, 50% from the top and the left, and transform translate minus 50% minus 50%. If you all don't know what transform does, I have already made a video about it. I'll be having it here in the I button and in the description box as well. You can go and check it out. I am going to be making a few videos relating to CSS because I want to help a few of my students I had been teaching. I think that the video should be up maybe by Monday or Tuesday. I'm currently feeling lazy to edit, but I have, okay, that is a different video altogether. So anyways, so now what I've done is applied transform translate minus 50 minus 50, and from ch did exactly what I did for the pepper part here in the cheese, and we're done. This is what the end product looks like. I hope you found this pizza appetizing. I would love for you guys to recreate this. Tag me in your post or wherever you are recreating. These are my socials. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye bye. Be sure to subscribe. Bye.